So let's keep going now. So I've trimmed the top line. Our tiles are going to extend the entire way. Alright, when we open a door, the tile will start straight away. They don't have a gap and then start the tiles. So just moving this hatch the whole way across, and I'll do the same for this one. Alright, now for the outside, with the line, I'm just going to draw a straight line straight through from the edge, because I keep this outside line. If you look at your outside of your house, for those who have a brick veneer house, you still see the brick on top of your door. Okay, so I can trim these and continue to there. Okay, can now delete these two lines, and you can delete trim. You can trim out this line as well. Okay, it's up to you. You can leave it, you can trim it out. There's no exact way to do it. Alright, it's up to you. You can leave this line sitting through to here. Alright, because this is where the tile is going to sit. Awesome. Cool. And then you'll do the same for the front door here. With a line. Alright, these are just guides to be able to trim the wall. Alright, if not, we'll spend a bit of time. You know, it's easy just to draw these two lines in and trim between them. So trim. Alright, I'm cutting these three. Cool. And then cutting in here, cutting in here. And now I can delete these again. So front door all sorted, and the back door is fine. Alright. Now let's put on some annotations for our windows. So text. We'll go with this front window here. Alright, so remember from Stegbar. Alright, looking at the sliding windows, awning windows, double hung window, sliding window. Alright, so looking in here, alright, 1210 by the height. So I might put a 1210 by say 1200 to be sufficient. So ASW, aluminium sliding window, 1212. Now this works, however, I'm on a furniture layer. Alright, this should be on text or label, it's up to you which one you can find. I think there actually might be a window label in here. Yep, window label. So we can lock it or unlock it, and now we can use it. Let's change it to white. Let's grab the properties and make the text a bit smaller. So remember, if you can't find the properties, it's up here. If it's not up here, grab it from here. Let's make it a bit smaller, say 150. Cool. So this window is 1210 wide or 1200 wide. Cool. And 1200 high. Copy. Now I'm going to put one here and one here. Now this one here, this will make a bit more sense when we do an elevation, but this is going to be an aluminium awning window, 1800 high and 600 wide. Okay, and so will this one. So from Stegbar, it is the awning window, 610 wide, and then we're coming down to this one here. So that's how it looks. CAD. So these are going to be side by side. So aluminium warning window 1806. Cool. Now let's copy this one up to here. Remember that the window area has to be 10% of the room. So if this room here is 3.4 by 3.88, you know, that's what, 13.2. So our, you know, window here has to be at least the size of 1.3 square meters. Okay. So please make sure you adhere to that for your plans. Over the toilet, just for a ventilation window, 600 by 600 is okay. And I'm just going to move it to tidy it up a little bit. So to there. Copy. Because I want to copy it directly across, I'm going to turn off the ortho so I can move it wherever I want. Let's put one up here and another one here for the door. Ortho back on. Now this one here will be the same as, well, all of our rooms are going to be the same. Alright, so 12, 12. This here is going to be a sliding door. So at the moment it is 2480. So let's have a look at our sliding doors. Bifold. Sliding door. Cool. What have I got? 2400. It's 2100 by 2410. So I might try to use that. So what do I have to reduce this by? I have to reduce it by 70 millimeters. So stretch across 70. And this now will become aluminium sliding door with a head height of 2100 and it's 2.4 meters in width. Okay. What you'll find later on is you do a window and door schedule. You send it off to the supplier, to Stegbar or Trend, and they will come back with pricing. Cool. Now let's keep going. So to here, rotate straight down. Now let's move back to the building. Now move to over the window. Now remember this one here was 1500. Alright, so if I look at Stegbar, if I make this a sliding window again, sliding window, so it's 1570 wide, I might make it, you know, 1540 high, so 1515. So aluminium sliding window 1515. Okay. Now these windows might not be the most aesthetic ones that we could possibly come up with, but to get our head around how things are coming together, they're going to be okay. So I have one here for this room, one here for the bathroom, and one here for this room. That wasn't copied in the right spot. Cool. So all of our rooms, like I said, are going to be the same. So 12, 12. Behind a toilet, let's go 0606. And let's go here, 12, 12. Okay, so all I'm doing is just double clicking on the text to be able to type over it. Alright, so we don't usually put in the cars and the beds and things like that. We can, if you want to complete your drawing, you can. You know, we can put in a car in the garage. Probably don't put in a semi-trailer, but you know, you can fit a car in here. Cool. So a single garage, a bed with the rug. Copy. So you know, you can fit them in whatever rooms you want. And if you really can, you can draw in a dining table and things like that. So it starts to make the house look a bit more filled in. Don't have to. You can leave it blank. It's up to you. But you do need to detail kitchen and bathrooms. Alright, so the next thing we have to do is put on some measurements. The way measuring works is how I can pretty much imagine it is I cut my house into quarters, or into, you know, two different halves. Is probably the best way to explain it. So what I mean is everything from this line above, so all of these walls, dimensions come up here. Everything below this line, dimensions come below here. Looking at this line, everything to the right comes on the right hand side, everything to the left comes on the left hand side. Okay, many different ways you can annotate these and measure them, but you'll gain that over time, and we're going to have a fair bit of practice with it, both on CAD and Revit. Alright, so let's come through. I want to be on dimensions, annotate. Alright, so starting from the inside of the house, moving out. So let's start here. Grab the thickness of our wall, bring it up. Click the continue button here to continue the measurement. And now we just start moving across. So I have here, I have this wall, and I also have this wall here I will include up the top. Cool. Next one. Alright, so just working out what lines actually are all in this one, which, you know, luckily our design, all of the width of these walls are all the same. Okay, so the next one we'll do is measure here, get the overall distance here, and get this last wall in as well. Cool. Measure. Now I'll go for the openings. So for the openings, I'll just come from the edge of the wall to the start of my opening. Continue to here, to this corner, to where my door starts, to over here, to this corner, this one, this one. Okay, we can tidy it up after, and the last one that I need is the overall. To sit up here. Awesome. What I might do first is match properties. I'm going to take this one, just because it's just a preference of mine, and touch all of them. Cool. I'll delete these lines because I know I'm measuring at the moment, so let's get rid of them. Now these are a bit too spaced out. We don't move our measurements, so we have to stretch them. So stretch and move them down. Alright, everything comes down to our presentation at the end of the day. It's how we present them on the paper towards our client. So that is this first measurement here. I'll do one on the side as well. I want you guys all to do all 4 sides. It's all the same principle no matter which way you go. But I'll only do 2 sides here. You guys can do all 4, and then I'll move on to the roof. So I'll do this one a bit quicker now. Alright, linear. I want the thickness. Cool. Probably should have taken in here first actually. Let's do that. So come back. This is conveniently a very easy house to annotate. They do get quite a bit more complicated than this, as we'll see on Thursday. But for now, that's we'll worry about that then. Cool. Now openings. And very convenient, I don't have any openings on this wall that I can see, which means I can get rid of that. You can add windows into this wall if you'd like. Don't have to, but you can. But because I don't have any, basically I'll just do the lengths to here, to here, to here, and then I'll grab the overall. So from this point to this point. Cool, same thing, match properties from here to there. Now when I've got these measurements sitting underneath, I want them the best I can to put them all on the same line. So just stretch these and we can move them up. And then we'll do the same here, stretch. To here. And now let's move them all, tidy them up, so move them all a bit closer to each other. I might move that last one a bit closer too. Alright, so that's these 2 sides. Please go through to the front and the other side. Just be careful with the doors. When you're doing the opening, it's from this mark here to this mark here. Okay, so just be aware of that. That's what you have to do. I might just show you that one as well. So measure like you usually would for the openings. At the front, it's going to look something like this. So, to there, to there, to in here, to here. Cool. Match properties. Stretch. Now when you get things like this, that are a bit messier, alright, we have to come up with a way to be able to read it all. So we can select the measurement and try to, discreetly move them apart, which is going to take a bit longer. We can try put some below, some on top. We can try move the properties down a little bit, so scale the numbers smaller. There's obviously a trade-off with that. Everything comes down to our presentation. What I'll do is I'll let you guys play around with it for a couple of days, and then on Thursday I'll explain how, or the best way to go about doing this. You can put it on more than one line if you need to, but you should be able to come up with a way to just have this all in one line and tidy. I'll give you an example of a floor plan on Thursday that has it all in there as well, for a bit of guidance. Okay, so that is the basics of the floor plan done. Now we want to look at the roof. Now the roof, we have an eave of 450 millimeters from the outside of the brick. So what that means is your roof doesn't stop where the brick is. If you walk around your house, your roof actually sits a little bit further out, and that's for rain and for sunshine. Now let's go offset. Our eave is 450, alright, coming from our brick. Just gonna move these together. The other thing that I'm going to do is select that line. I'm going to put it on a roof layer. So roof. It's coming up with, let's go dash dot, properties, change the color here to red. Let's try 1500, see how that looks. Let's try 2500, bit better. Now, the roof, there is a bit of a formula to this, so I hope everybody's mathematics is up to scratch. We have a few geometric formulas that we have to use. I know it's a very big fancy word, but let me explain to you what these geometric formulas are. Okay, so the way this is going to work is if I have all of our lines are at 45 degrees. Okay, so this line here is at 45 degrees. If I have a line at 45 degrees meeting a line in the opposite direction at 45 degrees, what I'm going to end up with is a straight line. Okay, if I have a line at 45 degrees meeting a straight line, what do I get? I get the opposite angle. Alright, so this is our geometric formula. Why does it work? I have absolutely no idea, but it does, so just trust me. How do we start it? So we start with this. Let's make sure we're on the correct layer. Red, dash dot, cool, 2500, enter. Line. So how do we get these lines at 45 degrees? Well, we've offset straight out, so that line there is 45 degrees. Same with this one. Alright, so the first thing we do is we come to all of our corners and we connect the corners together. If these lines are not perfect, so if you accidentally put one up here, this will not work. Okay, and you won't know if it doesn't work until the last line that we draw. So make sure you are getting exactly in the corner. If not, good luck to you. It will not come together. Alright, and it will frustrate you like there's no tomorrow. So just going around the house, still doing this. This is where our chamfer is going to become very useful. And this is also assuming the entire house is under one roof. Okay, so just a simplified roof for now. They do get a lot more complicated. We can do all kinds of things. Skillion, we can drop roofs, we can lift them, we can look around any house you go by. Every roof will be different. But this is a real typical one that you see. So, what we're going to do first is chamfer this angle and this one. So it all goes by what line meets first. Okay, so what I mean by that is, well, we'll start with the formula. Okay, we've got an angle meeting an angle. So by our lovely geometric formula, we get a straight line next. Okay, so ortho, very important. Now this straight line continues through. Is it going to meet this one or meet this one first? Obviously, if I keep coming down, if this kept going, it would meet this line first before it hits here. I can check it. Alright, how I can check it is chamfer this line to here. Just remember where these two meet. Okay, these two meet about here somewhere. Okay, where do these two meet? All the way down the page. So obviously these two meet first. Alright, now I have an angle meeting a straight line as per my lovely formula. I get the opposite angle. Alright, from there, what do I get? Chamfer these two, they're going to meet first. I have an angle meeting an angle, so what do I get? A straight line. Alright, and let's have a look here. Chamfer, obviously these two, and these two. Now you do need to check which lines meet first, especially on more complicated houses. If you have ones that kind of come in, come up, come back in, come up, they get very close to each other. Okay, so you have to be careful of it. So angle meeting an opposite angle, a straight line. Two angles meeting each other, straight line. Awesome. So this is what I mean. These lines have to eventually connect. Alright. Chamfer. This one and this one, sorry, these two will meet first. Chamfer these here will meet as well. Now, this is kind of the moment of truth coming up. So straight line meeting an angle, I get the opposite angle, which is this line here. Okay. Now this angle meeting straight line gets me the opposite angle here. Okay. Now this is where they intersect, so I can chamfer these two together. Now I have angle meeting an angle, so I have to get a straight line. And I'm praying that it lines up here. If it doesn't, I've made a mistake somewhere, and I'm going to have to delete my roof and start it again. So what I can do is, obviously it's going to snap to the end point, but I'm just going to go straight through it just to make sure. Alright, I can zoom right in and thank the Lord they line up. Okay, so they line up, which means my roof is good. Okay, so this dotted red line is our roof layout. Alright, it's very important. You're going to need to do this. We're going to need it for our elevations. Alright, so this is how you complete a floor plan. You will need, obviously, the measurements here and here for the rest of the house. So please do that. And yeah, thanks guys. I'll see you all on Thursday.